Good morning, Thursday, the 16th of May, and we're here to look at today's astrology. So I'm going to go straight to the share so that you can see the chart I'm looking at. Okay, so differences from yesterday. Well, it's earlier in the morning, and so the sun, with the planets that are around the sun at the moment, are lower down in the sky. They have just risen, and they are in the 12th house here. Okay, now we have some changes from yesterday's chart. Note the position of Mercury. Now, yesterday, Mercury was in red Aries with an Aries glyph here. However, it has moved on into the next section of the sky, or the next part of the sky, which is called Taurus. So Mercury is now at 0 degrees, 39 minutes of Taurus. That's making a difference. I'll explain that in a moment. Another thing, a couple of things we'll be looking at will be Ceres. Ceres is a dwarf planet in the asteroid belt, which is between Mars and Jupiter. And Ceres is making contact with a couple of other planets. And when that happens, when there is an aspect between them, when there is a set amount of degrees between them, then they form together to make a meaning. So we have Chiron at 21 Aries and Ceres at 21 Capricorn. Well, 21, 21 makes sense. There is something going on there. This is another one of those crosses that we were talking about yesterday when we looked at the fixed cross. This time, we're looking at the cardinal cross. So on the cardinal cross, we have Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn. So this is another of those crosses that you're going to have to learn, remember? Anyway, so Chiron at 21 Aries, Ceres at 21 Capricorn, but also Venus is moving up to 21 and will certainly be there by tomorrow. So we will have a Venus Ceres trine. And the reason that is a trine is because they're both in the same element. They're both in Earth. So they're making a harmonious 120-degree contact, 120-degree aspect. The aspect is called a trine. And so there's some meaning going on there, and there's some meaning going on between Chiron and Ceres, which we'll have a look at. Just out of interest, the moon. Okay, the moon is moving right away from the sun now, and it is at 4 degrees of Virgo. And in actual fact, approaching Juno, the planet of relationships, at 7 degrees of Juno. Right, and let's just cover this first. These two are in Earth, and critical Earth at that. Virgo is known for its critical outlook, because Virgo has to neaten everything, tighten it all up, examine everything, throw away what's useless, keep what's left. Everything has to be useful in Virgo's world. Virgo wants to be helpful all the time. Virgo has a critical eye, an extreme perception, which comes across as quite cutting sometimes if you're in the line of fire. Virgo has no problem with saying, "Oh my goodness, look at your shirt, it's dreadful." So, anyway, so just sticking to the Earth bit, which is my point. Now, we know that these have been in Earth ever since I started doing these videos. And that's fine. But for Mercury to move into an Earth sign, that's a big move. And I'll tell you why, because Mercury is right next to the sun. It's the nearest planet to the sun. This, of course, is a bit deceiving, isn't it? Because you look at that, you think, no, Uranus is way, way further out, right? So the distance is greater. The distance from Earth is greater. we can't show distance on this two-dimensional diagram, so you just have to take my word for it. Okay, so Mercury moving into Taurus, because it's the closest planet to the sun, because it has an enormous impact on how we perceive things, what we notice, and how it magnifies the atmosphere. Okay, so what we should notice today is that the atmosphere has got more doleful almost, because we have overall now a very feminine chart, a very yin chart. Let's have a look at this, right? How this weighting has changed. Weighting as in the weight of something, and you weigh it on scales. Okay, so 5 planets there in Taurus, that's quite a lot. In a feminine, in a yin polarity, okay? And 2 more down here in the feminine yin polarity, right? Earth again. Vesta here in feminine. Vesta is an asteroid. That's not a planet, that's a node. Yes, we do have Athena at 0 Sagittarius, 0.8 minutes apart, but not for much longer. Venus is going retrograde. See that R there? Which means going back. And so Athena will be in Scorpio, another feminine sign, very shortly. Ceres, feminine, in Capricorn. Pluto's in a masculine sign. Feminine, feminine, masculine, 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 masculine. Now, if I was to add all that up, the amounts of feminines and the amounts of masculines, I would find there is a heavy weight on the side of the feminine. And an important planet like Mercury moving in there most definitely should shift the atmosphere. We should feel the sea change. We should become more contemplative, more reflective, more wanting to just sit and consider, sit in repose. The feminine receives, it doesn't push out. So it's up to masculine to push things out like solar radiation. The feminine receives like gravity, pulls in, the feminine pulls in. So this means we're all a little bit more thoughtful, contemplative. We're not about to rush forward. We're doing something, or we have witnessed something, or we know something that is causing us to reflect and to go slower. This is a response that we are going through here, the response of the feminine, really. So that's made an overall atmosphere to the collective unconscious. And the collective unconscious is the other side, if you like. It's not a dimensional thing, as in it's not material, it's not corporeal, it's not in the dimension we can touch and taste and feel. But the unconscious is like the lining to the coat. So there you have your underworld, but you also have your unconscious. So it's something that lies on between. We talked about this actually in Greek myth when we talked about Hades, how he goes around his kingdom, if you like, which is the underworld, every day in his gold chariot, checking for invisibility. He has to make sure that his kingdom is still completely invisible from mortals. And when he appears through the ground on this gold chariot, but can wear a cloak of invisibility. Anyway, so today, yeah, just more reflective, I think. I will talk about the series Chiron. Chiron is a symbol that reminds us of or describes our wounds. And so these are the wounds that we can't heal, that we'd rather not have. It's the human suffering element. We are here to suffer. Suffering is part of our journey. And Chiron describes our fiery response to having to be made to suffer. Oh, no, I'm not. I don't want to. Why should I have all this pain? I haven't done anything. Not as pompous as that. That was a bit too pompous. But certainly, why me? Certainly, what have I done to deserve this? Because it's in Aries, it will be about strength and about the ability to be in control and to command. Feeling strong, feeling reverse, of the opposite to that, feeling that one is not strong, feeling that one cannot get a position of strength. Okay, so that is in contact with Ceres, which describes our parent-child bond, but also Mother Earth itself, literally the feminine as the procreative cycle of life. The feminine giving birth, and then seedlings, and then crops, and then the withering and the dying, the harvesting, and exactly the same stuff happening to human beings. We're in a cycle where we reproduce. Okay. So that's a little doleful. It talks to us about, for instance, crops and whether if the crops are suffering because of the summer and unusual weather patterns, then Chiron is showing us that suffering and that unusual experience. The Ceres Venus thing over here, there we go. Ceres Venus is an appreciation really of Mother Earth. It's an appreciation of procreation. It's an appreciation of the feminine as fecund. I love that word fecund. Look it up in a diary, a dictionary. It's as soon as I found out, I went around going fecund, very fecund. Fortunately, nobody else knows what it means. So look it up and then you'll know what I mean when I say fecund. Anyway, so there we go. So some changes to the chart, as you have seen. What you're getting used to now is these daily changes, looking at the chart and seeing the astrology, the transiting astrology. We're doing transiting astrology here. This is not the same astrology as the one that describes your birth chart. We use houses and zodiac signs a lot more for that. Just transiting. Transiting astrology, we use the planets. That's really all we've got. Okay, so we're doing that. And you're getting used to the rhythm and try to see it like you're watching a play. And these are the planets are all actors on the stage, and they come in and they whirl around and they have their moment. They peak, and then that's it. They fade into the distance or to the side of the stage, and more planets take over. So trying to see it like that. And so every morning when we look at this, you're able to look at this and understand the rhythm and the movement. If you keep watching this for a year, and I'm determined I'm doing it for a year because I love it, you will have at the end of that year all the seasons, all of the planets doing loads of things to other planets, etc. It'll be quite a good experience. Well, I'm enjoying it anyway. If I just do it for me, I'll do it for me and one listener. Okay, it was lovely to talk to you, and I will see you tomorrow, and I hope that was interesting. If you liked it, could you please share? I know everybody says that, and I hate to be repetitive, but it really kind of counts. So the more people we can get on board, the more people can enjoy knowing about themselves and their home, the cosmos. Thank you. Okay, see you soon. Bye.